Hey film fans, welcome to Cinepro, your ultimate hub for all movie recaps, from heartwarming classics to the latest blockbuster. The movie Acres 40 starts in Canada. We know that 15 years ago there was a plague that destroyed 98% of the animals living on planet Earth, which caused famine to spread everywhere in the world. After that, a civil war broke out among humans because the global food chain collapsed. And now the most valuable thing on Earth is agricultural land. Countries are fighting each other over food. There is no meat at all because the animals died. The people who managed to survive, some of them were lucky and found arable land, so they lived there, settled, and now live by planting, harvesting, eating, and drinking, and most importantly, protecting themselves from groups of people who have turned into cannibals. Because of the lack of meat, they started attacking and eating people. Currently, we see some people trying to attack the farm, and their leader, along with his men, stands in front of the house of the farm owners, calling out to them and asking if they have food. At the same time, the men spread around the farm to finish off its owners and take it over. Anyway, this man keeps calling out to the farm owners, and the response from the owners is very quick. They open fire and finish them off. At the same time, they eliminate the rest of the gang, one after another, until they kill them all. Then Danielle, the owner of the farm, appears. By the way, the farm is 40 acres and Danielle doesn't like anyone trespassing on her property at all. We learn that Danielle is a former soldier in the army. We also learn that she is married to a man named Galen, and Danielle had a child named Manny before she married Galen. Galen also has a daughter from his first marriage named Ryan. Now Manny and Ryan have grown up and become teenagers. During Danielle and Galen's marriage, they had a daughter named Denise and her younger sister named Cookie. Now Danielle and her family live on the farm, having a very tough life, barely managing to survive in this harsh world. Danielle always reminds her children that she inherited this farm from her father, who inherited it from his ancestors. This is very important to her and her children, which is why she will defend it no matter what it takes. The dangers around them make her teach all her children how to shoot and fight in different ways and how to defend themselves, especially Manny, who is supposed to be the most responsible since he is the oldest. But Manny is a teenager, and he is not focused on the farm. But this doesn't mean he isn't a skilled fighter. On the contrary, he is a professional fighter, because his training is very good overall. Manny has many ambitions and wants to leave the farm and see the outside world. He doesn't like being confined within the walls and strict security his mother has set up on the farm, and he's annoyed because Danielle is very organized and has many rules that must be followed in this environment. He feels like he's going crazy from this situation, as if this isn't the life one is supposed to live. He once told his mother, "How are we supposed to live without people around us?" Danielle tells him to thank God that he is still alive, because the people around them are dying every day, one after another, because of the spread of cannibalism in the world. To relieve himself, he sneaks out of the walls without anyone noticing and goes to swim in the nearby lake. Let's leave him to enjoy his time for a bit and go back to Danielle, who is now talking on the radio with her friend Augusta, who also has a farm just like Danielle. Danielle talks to Augusta every day to relieve herself a bit and confide in her, and at the same time to know how things are going around them and what's happening in the world. In one of their conversations, Danielle learns that a family on another farm, the Fleming family, was recently chased by a group of cannibals. The problem is that this group is slowly growing in numbers, and the government isn't doing anything useful, so the world has become almost lawless. Augusta asks Danielle to try to track down these cannibals and get rid of them, but Danielle refuses because she doesn't like how the government isn't doing anything for the people, even though it's their duty. But Augusta manages to convince her because no one can face these cannibals except her and her family, since they are better trained in combat than anyone else around. So Danielle agrees and has her husband and her children, Manny and Denise, carry out patrols to search the surrounding area. In one of them, they go to an old warehouse and find some dead people hanging in front of them. Suddenly, a group of people dressed as soldiers appears and tells them that they just arrived at the scene and found the dead people. But Galen is suspicious of them and suspects they are cannibals. So he asks if they went to the Fleming family because he heard they were attacked recently. One of them says they just came from there and checked on them, and they're fine. Here, Galen and his son open fire on them and finish them off, because now they are sure they are cannibals, since, as we know, the Fleming family died a few days ago. Unfortunately, Denise was hit by a stray bullet, so they quickly take her home to treat her. After what happened, Manny gets upset and goes, as usual, to the lake to swim and calm down. There he spots a girl his age, who is apparently also swimming in the lake. He quickly hides and keeps watching her, and he likes her from the moment he sees her. He keeps thinking about her and is preoccupied with her all the time, until his mother comes into the room. Suddenly, Manny and his siblings each have a specific role to play. In general, they all follow her order. We see Manny on night guard duty at the farm, and suddenly he sees the same girl he saw at the lake. This time she is standing next to the fence and asking for help. Manny is afraid his mother will see her and finish her off, so he quickly takes her and hides her in the barn, and he ties it because he's still not sure what she wants or if she's really with them or not. But after a bit of talking together, he realizes that she poses no threat to them at all. Not only that, but he learns that this girl's name is Dawn, and she's Augusta's niece, the owner of the farm. He finds out from Manny that the cannibals attacked Dawn's family and kidnapped them, but Dawn managed to escape from them at the last moment. He also learns that her aunt asked her to go to Daniel, because she's the only one who can help them. So he feels reassured about her, and they start having some fun together, singing and dancing, and everything is beautiful. The problem is that Daniel and Galen show up and ruin this happy romantic moment. Of course, Daniel doesn't hesitate and hits Dawn as soon as she sees her, takes her to the barn, and locks her in with Manny so he can't follow them. She tells him, "You'll deal with her later." Then she points a gun at Dawn to make her tell the truth. Dawn, scared, tells her that she met her sister Augusta and that Augusta's family was ambushed by cannibals. When Daniel hears Augusta's name, she believes her immediately. We get a quick glimpse of Daniel and Augusta's relationship and learn that their friendship started when they met by chance on the road. Daniel's car had broken down, and Augusta stopped to help her. Then we see them together when the cannibals attacked Daniel's family and killed them all except for Manny, who was still a little boy. Daniel cared for him a lot, and thankfully she found him still alive. Since then, they've looked after each other, and Daniel used to send her agricultural products to Augusta and others she knew. Back to the present, we see Daniel's family decide to save Augusta's family. Manny and Dawn go one way, and Daniel goes another, while Galen, Ryan, and Cookie stay at the house in case the cannibals attack. But unfortunately, it turns out to be an ambush by the cannibal gang. Daniel's friend is kidnapped while searching for evidence in Augusta's house and is locked up in the same cell as Augusta, who blames her for getting her into all this. Sadly, the cannibals come in and kill Augusta in front of Daniel. Their leader tells Daniel that he will take over her entire farm, 40 acres, because it's the most productive in the area. Meanwhile, Dawn and Manny go somewhere far to rest together and find an abandoned bus where the children who survived her village are hiding. There, she confesses everything to him and says that the cannibals sent her today to split their forces and take over the farm. That's how these people operate, taking over all the surrounding farm. Dawn apologizes to Manny because her aunt and all her siblings are kidnapped by the cannibals, but they manage to finish them off. After that, he contacts Ryan on the walkie-talkie to check on her and her siblings. When no one answers, he gets worried and rushes home. At that moment, Ryan is holding her rifle and shooting at the remaining cannibals approaching the house to take it over. But there are too many for her to take down alone. Galen manages to reach her and asks her to take Cookie to their hideout, while Denise hides in the closet because she's still weak from her gunshot wound. But he eventually collapses from his many open wounds. Denise frees herself and finishes off their captors, including the leader himself, just as Manny arrives to save her. Then Manny, Dawn, and the children they've freed from the cannibals return to the farm. At the same time, Ryan and her siblings are fighting off 2 of the cannibals. Galen is hiding, hoping to save his daughters from them. One of the cannibals grabs Denise and threatens to kill her with a knife, also threatening Ryan to give him what he wants, thinking it's extinct. As chaos breaks out, Daniel uses the opportunity to stab the man, and Ryan quickly finishes him off with a shot from her pistol. At the same moment, Galen shoots the woman and kills her too, but he collapses from his wounds. At this point, Manny and Daniel continue their way through the farm toward the house. Suddenly, the rest of the cannibal gang confronts them and starts shooting. Daniel and Manny fire back, but Daniel is cornered by 3 cannibals. She manages to take down 2, but the third is very strong and almost kills her. Manny appears at the right moment, shoots him and kills him. Afterwards, Dawn manages to treat Galen's wound. In the end, we see them all sitting around the dinner table, eating together. It's clear that Daniel is still injured and recovering, but something has changed in her life after helping Augusta's family and letting them join her own to live with them on the farm. Daniel finds herself calmer because she now has more people at her table. Devastated world with no food, no meat, nothing but farming to depend on for survival. That's where this movie ends. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thank you for your time.